Have you ever heard the phrase, Egypt is the gift of the Nile? It's a famous quote by the Greek historian Herodotus. And it holds a deep truth about the rise of one of the world's oldest civilizations. Today, we're going to explore why the Nile River wasn't just a river for ancient Egypt, it was life itself. Let's find out how the Nile shaped the destiny of Egypt for thousands of years. Section 1. Understanding the Nile. The Nile River is the longest river in the world, stretching over 6,650 kilometers across 11 African countries. It flows from south to north, finally draining into the Mediterranean Sea in northern Egypt. In ancient times, this river wasn't just water, it was the central life source for the Egyptian people. Surrounded by vast deserts on all sides, Egypt would have been uninhabitable without the Nile. That's why Herodotus declared, Egypt is the gift of the Nile. But what does that really mean? Let's break it down. Section 2. Agriculture and fertility. Every year, the Nile would flood during the rainy season in Central Africa. When it overflowed, it brought with it rich, black silt, a natural fertilizer. Once the water receded, it left behind incredibly fertile land, perfect for growing crops. This annual flood cycle allowed Egyptians to grow wheat, barley, flax, vegetables and fruits. This agricultural abundance helped the population grow and cities flourish. The people did not have to migrate in search of food. They settled, farmed, and built right along the river banks. Section 3. The river as a highway. The Nile was also Egypt's highway. In a time with no cars or trains, boats and ships moved along the Nile to transport people, goods, livestock, building materials like stone. Since the river flows from south to north and the wind blows from north to south, Egyptians could sail in either direction by adjusting their sails or using the river current. This made trade and communication much easier between Upper Egypt, in the south, and Lower Egypt, in the north. So, the Nile didn't just feed Egypt, it connected it. Section 4. Cities and civilization. Almost every major city in ancient Egypt was built on or near the Nile: Thebes, Memphis, Luxor, and later, Cairo. These cities thrived because the Nile gave them water to drink, fish to eat, farmland to harvest, trade routes to prosper. Even the pyramids were built close to the river, so stone blocks could be floated in on boats. Simply put, where there was Nile, there was life. Section 5. Calendar and religion. The Nile didn't just shape Egypt's economy, it shaped its calendar and religion. Ancient Egyptians based their entire calendar around the Nile's flood cycle, flooding season. June to September, growing season. October to February, harvest season, March to May. They even worshipped the river. The god Hapi was believed to control the Nile's flooding, and he was honored with offerings and prayers every year. To Egyptians, the Nile wasn't just a river, it was a divine lifeline. Section 6. Defense and isolation. The Nile also helped protect Egypt. Since most of Egypt is surrounded by desert, foreign invasions were rare. The Nile provided a natural defense and kept the people of Egypt relatively isolated, allowing their unique culture to flourish for thousands of years without much outside influence. It created a natural border, a safe zone, and a central source of unity. So now you know, when Herodotus said, Egypt is the gift of the Nile, he was speaking a profound truth. Without the Nile, there would be no fertile land, no great pyramids, no ancient civilization as we know it. The Nile gave Egypt its life, its identity, and its greatness. Even today, over 90% of Egyptians live along the Nile, just like their ancestors did thousands of years ago. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating stories from history and geography. See you in the